All right. Was that an intro or what? So, hey, 8 people watching. That's more than I thought, honestly. Um, yeah. Can you guys hear me well? Hopefully, everything is connected and set up properly. Um, Spam yes in the chat if you can. Although there's a bit of delay, so I won't see that for a while. I think it's going through all right. I think it's fine. Yeah, welcome to my stream. I hope you enjoyed that intro and thank you for tuning in. Basically, what I'm going to be doing is music production and explaining stuff live. I know there's a lot of people who are well-versed music producers watching, and I hope I don't bore you. And I know that there are a few people who don't know much about music production, and in that case, I hope I don't confuse you. But I think overall, I made this format so that everyone would have a good time, basically. So yeah, I think I'm gonna hope to do a weekly thing. All right, apparently my mic is working loud and clear. Nice. So yeah, I'm hoping to make this a weekly thing, do it every Wednesdays, perhaps not at 9. I don't know what time is best for everybody, but perhaps I'll make a poll later. But so yeah, let's get started. I can start this stream by showing you how the intro track was done. So all of this intro was made in just a few hours, basically, including visuals. And what I was doing with the knobs was controlling the visuals as well as some effects. And it's all done inside of FL Studio, so like there's no external program I need to use. But yeah, for the track, nothing super fancy. It's not even properly mixed yet. I basically took this arpeggio lead. Yeah. And then I chopped it up like crazy to do the drop and added a bunch of stuff on top of that. In my opinion, the visuals are more interesting. I'll try to show you how that works as well. Basically, this is the visuals plugin. I'll attach the window so you can see it. So basically, there's a bunch of effects here, and I can link each of the parameters of those effects to knobs on my controller here. So that's how I can control it live. For the background, it was done by an artist called Paul Brenus. He's really good. I recommend you check out his stuff. And so I took it, brought it in Photoshop, removed the astronaut in the middle in Photoshop, and then I isolated him. So I have 2 layers, like I have the background and the foreground. Then I can put these two, as well as some effects. I have, like smoke effects. I have these particles. But the most interesting part is, of course, the kaleidoscope effect. I'm not sure I pronounced that right. But yeah, it can become crazy, and then I can control all that shit with my knobs. So yeah. Also, I made it audio reactive, so of course, like when a kick hits, you get RGB colors flashing up and blooming, which is pretty cool. And all of that can be done in FL Studio. So yeah, I figured I might explain the title a bit for the people who are confused. So Reverb on the sub is kind of a running joke for music producers. Been using FL Studio for 3 years and I wasn't aware that you could make visualizers. I feel stupid. No, the thing is that like they hide it very well. That's something about FL Studio that's a bit shit. It's like for old stuff that is still great, they won't do any coverage on their tutorials. So you gotta stumble upon it at some point. But yeah, I lots of people don't know that there's a visualizer inside of FL Studio. Don't feel bad, Musa. But yeah, so yeah, Reverb on the sub. Basically, it's like something that is a mistake done by a lot of beginners, and so it's kind of turned into a meme. Like, what do I do with this mix? I don't know how to fix it. You respond, put reverb on the mix, reverb on the sub. It's not funny. It's barely amusing, but it has a ring to it. So that's why I used it as a title. And I actually have an explanation for these things. So I'll open a new project. Give me 1 second. File. New empty. Right, so there's a few reasons why you shouldn't put reverb on the sub. That's a good sub there. Can you hear that? I don't know if it comes through. I think it should. Okay. So the sub is this. It's like the part that makes your chest rattle when you're listening to music. This Dreamscape time, baby. Yeah. Hell yeah. Dreamscape all the way. Best reverb plugin. But yeah, so the sub is this part of any song, and like when you're at a rave or at a live event, it's what you actually feel, like physically. And so reverb is this effect that makes everything sound wide and as if you were in a big hall, like in a big cathedral. And the reason why you shouldn't put it on the sub, that it can actually create some interference with the frequencies, which will muddy up the sub, make it sound less good. So I'll try to put reverb on it right now. More plugins, reverb. Oh, reverb. So you see, it sounds kind of cool. It sounds very, very ethereal, like you're underwater. Oh, can you feel that? But there's a few problems. So first of all, so to make this easy to understand, I've prepared something. You don't. There's gonna be math, but don't worry, it's not complicated. Like you can just look at it and see what I'm talking about. So this is a sine wave. It's what you were hearing earlier. It's like this very pure sound, right? If I add another sine wave that's slightly delayed, like this, right? We have two of them. By the way, that's how reverb works. It adds a bunch of delays left and right. So it delays your sound and adds them together to create that spacey effect. So let's see what happens if I add those together. Stream mass, mass stream, I'm guessing. Yeah. So if I hide these two, this is what will come through your listening device if you're using a phone or something mono. And so you can see shit, I messed up there, didn't I? GeoGebra phasing moment. GeoGebra is something that I used in high school, and I guess a lot of people too. But it's actually really good for this type of stuff. Shit. Okay, so there we go. Now we're adding both together, and you can see that when they're delayed just right, it cancels out. So your sub will actually sound. Mr. Monet was the name of our math teacher in high school. You can actually see that the sub bass will be just disappear, and I can actually show you that in effect. So I just clone this, and then I put the phase of this off, which will imitate, having these two that are slightly off. And so when I play them together, 1 and 2, I actually pitch them down, so it's actually a sub. Yep. This was going a lot smoother in my mind. All right, so I'll pan this one all the way to the left, I'll pan this one all the way to the right. And when you play them at the same time, I'll play with the phase around. When you play them at the same time, you can see that the phase, please. Yeah. So this is with the phase off, and you can see it just like messes up. I don't know, I tried this earlier and it showed a lot better. I used GeoGebra in high school too. But so yeah, I'll stop spending so much time on this because it's obviously not very exciting. But yeah, I've explained the title for people who weren't aware what was going on. So let's go back to FL Studio, which I've closed for some reason. All right, you should be able to see that. So I figured, since this is the first stream, I would honor the title and I would make a track using Reverb on the sub. So I've tried this the other day, and it went pretty well, so I guess we'll try it. Let's take, oh, that's a bit too donkey, we don't want too much of that. Yeah. Okay, nice. Okay, so I need to come up with a sub pattern now. I actually have one prepared for this. Just give me a second. Yeah, I tried this yesterday to make sure it wouldn't sound like shit, so sorry if I don't speak much during that part. All right, we have our bass line. I'll probably fix it later. It sounds a bit shit right now, but no worries. So let's make that a short note. That's off by quite a bit. Seems so easy when I do it. I haven't even started yet, don't worry about that. But thank you though. Right, time to put reverb on the sub. So let's make a reverb bus. Reverb. And what I actually do is put a delay first because I like doing that. Crystallizer. This is a really good plugin. Those little, so this is called a granular delay, I guess, because instead of like taking the input and just putting it in a feedback loop, it like actually stores it in memory and then does some stuff to it. So like it actually pitches it up and down, and it makes it sound like super like fluttery, you know, like you have little Destiny sounds good. I might call it Destiny. If it turns out good for me. But yeah, time to put actual reverb now. So earlier I was talking to Sim, who's in the chat as Quark Bass. You guys should check out his music. We agree that Dreamscape is a fantastic plugin. However, I find it very annoying to tweak the presets to get exactly what you want. So I just have a setting that I just load every time because I'm lazy. It's called custom vocals, but it just works for everything. And I just use that because I'm too lazy to actually tweak the plugin. So whenever I add a reverb to a bus, I always add a low pass. You hear a lot of clicking. Yeah, this bass preset has an issue, but for some reason I still choose to use it knowing that it has an issue. But basically it's this. Yeah. It sounds very 40 now. May have gone too far. So yeah, that's how reverb on the subs sounds like. It's obviously quite disgusting. But I have a solution. So the reason I'm using short notes is that so there's no overlap between notes that are too similar, because that causes dissonance, and I don't want that. So the notes are very short, obviously, which make it sound a bit like a techno bass rather than anything else. But yeah. The other thing is the reverb obviously has a low pass on it to avoid those phasing issues I was talking about earlier in GeoGebra. And what I like doing actually is putting a lot of distortion on it, and then putting that distortion in the reverb, because the distortion will have more frequencies to play with. It's a bit loud. So you can see now the sub goes to a distortion, which I actually name. And I'll make this actually a lot wider. Extra large, yeah. That way it can be seen slightly better. And obviously this isn't like a trick or anything. Most people do this because that way the reverb, since it's high passed, it will have more frequencies to play with. So it still sounds a bit dirty, but we can... That sounds very detuned. Give me a sec while I fix this. Okay, well, this is as good as we can get it because I don't want to spend 20 hours tweaking a 3x oscillator plugin. But yeah, let's try to make something with that shitty bassline we got. So I'll open Splice, which is what I use for samples. I think I need to, yeah. All right, here we go. So Splice is really good. I use it for a lot of things because I'm a lazy guy who doesn't want to make their own setting, their own samples. Yeah, that's what I want. So I feel like we're going for a techno vibe since the BPM is at 120. The bassline still sounds very disgusting. Basically, I'm trying to recreate something I did yesterday, which seemed to work well. Yeah, I said I was going live. I didn't say it was going to be good. Snare time. Do we feel that vibe? Do we feel that? I feel like we do. I only need one though. Producing with an audience is so much more weirder than producing by yourself. It's like I have a pair of eyes, multiple pair of eyes judging, but it's alright. I know you guys are cool. I'm not feeling the techno vibe on this one. Maybe we need some high end. Oh, actually, I know exactly what we need. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. I'm feeling that. Okay. It's techno, so we need to have a ride on every beat, because that's a rule that I just made up. Yep. The more I listen to this bass line, the more I like it, but deep down I know it could be better. But honestly, I have more things planned afterwards. This is just a proof of concept. Send me that preset. Which one? The sub bass? I didn't make it. It's like when you go to Serum, it's this one. Speaking of presets, Sim, like, I don't know if you remember, but when you were in London, you started a track on my PC, and I still have the preset you made. And I figured I would find a use for it at some point, so why not put it right now? Yeah, I'll shorten the ride. What's our key again? I'll change the pattern later. Oh, the Dreamscape preset. Yeah, I'll send it to you. No worries. Anyone feeling like it's percussion time? Because I feel like it's percussion time. Alright. My neighbors will probably hate me, but I think it'll be worth it. Shit. Everybody gangsta till the cajon shows up. Look at this big boy. I'll try not to be too loud for the sake of my neighbors. Our washing machine started leaking into their bedroom today, so I don't want to anger them more than I have to. But hopefully that'll be sorted by tomorrow. Ooh, hello. Listen to this shit. Yeah, let's... Okay. there's a clear lack of pyramids. I might have a solution for that. So right now I'm not used to this layout actually, so I'll go back to a normal one. That's the issue. Okay. Okay. Hopefully I'm not blowing out your ears with this, because it is quite loud. Yeah, that'll be alright. Let's put Edison on this bitch. Alright. That was pretty good. I don't know if you guys could hear that because I've set it so that I can't hear it. That way there's no feedback with the mic, but we can check it out now together. See if that sounded good. That's a bit... They heard it. Cool. So, FL Studio users, I'm curious, when you record, do you prefer to record using the big red dot over there, or do you record in Edison? I'd rather record in Edison because I've noticed that I have a tendency to fuck up when I use the big record button, because like I'll overwrite some stuff I've done before and it gets really annoying to fix. But yeah, I'm curious to hear what you guys do. I think Musa uses the big record button. I'm not sure what Sim does. Okay, let's see this. It's a bit out of time, I feel. Yeah, I can see that. So there's a really good way to fix that in FL Studio. You right click on it. I prefer using Ableton. Get out. Actually stay, please. Edison is not that hard to use. It's a bit confusing because it's old, obviously. It's like one of those legacy plugins, which is something that FL Studio should definitely fix. Basically, their reasoning is that they'd rather have people who open very old projects keep working. So like if they get rid of a plugin that's built in, then you know the project might break. So their reasoning to keep those super old legacy plugins is that, you know, we don't want old projects to break, which is fair enough. But the problem is they're really ugly, and to like every beginner that opens FL Studio for the first time, it's super confusing because what are the plugins that are good? What are the plugins that you should avoid? And basically my tell is that if the plugins looks ugly, I don't use it, because if the interface gives you 2004 vibes, then that's because it was made in 2004. But if the interface looks good, then it's probably a more recent plugin. Right, what was I doing? Oh yeah, snap. Wait, no, I was quick quantizing. That's a really neat feature though, like you can detect the beats in a sample, then you can use chop to chop it automatically, and then you can use quantize to make sure that at least if it's a percussive loop, then everything will fall on the beat. So you don't actually need to learn how to play correctly, you can, you know, do that. percussions are decent. I'm too lazy to pull out my actual hi-hat. I own one, but it's a bit clunky, and you don't want to see me put it up because it'll take a while. So let's make a serum patch to have a lead. So I have this, the controller I was using earlier is called the Akai Fire, and basically it's like made for FL Studio. It's compatible with FL Studio and FL Studio only, which can be good but can also be annoying. But since I use FL Studio, that's fine. But one great feature it has is that it can lock into a scale. So right now I'm playing the major pentatonic, and so that means you don't actually need to learn scales. And playing the piano, you can just fuck around and it'll sound great. So that's something amazing that I love about it. I'll put it in perhaps. Wait, let's check which scale we're on so far, because I haven't checked. So we have G, C, D sharp, G. Someone with music knowledge, tell me what scale that is, please. Someone, anyone. I think that's like the root note is obviously G, I think. Maybe G or D, I don't know. I have a hack for this as well, because I don't want to learn every single chord by heart. I just type into Google what scale is this, and it leads you to a website called scale-chords.com. Then you can put the notes you have. So here it's G, C, D, D sharp, and oh, it's just a G again. Oh, so I guess we only have 4 notes right now. So we'll have a lot of options. So it looks like this could be a G natural minor. So I'm just gonna go with that. So set the Akai to, I guess, minor pentatonic, since we're gonna be soloing. Can be an E sharp major if you want it to be. I feel like it's a bit too dark. Actually, fuck it. Let's do it. Let's go into major. So C sharp major, E sharp major, you say? Okay, nice. That sounds really cute. But I need to set the root note. E flat major. Okay, let's go in E flat major. Yeah, there are enough notes, but I guess at this point you can check your options. Like if you want to make something really dark, if it's compatible with, like, I don't know, double harmonic minor or something, then you can go that route. I guess that's the way I do things, because I'm too lazy to learn music theory. I'd rather spend my time learning how to mix, which means I can mix terrible tracks greatly. So let's make a lead. Actually, no. I'll use something like this. Pitch it down a bit. Sounds good. Sustain. I guess I'll make it a bit plucky. Yeah, I could do. I could do some modal techno. Right, I guess I'll put a square wave in that bitch. Basic shapes. Square wave. That's very cute. I think it goes well with the major scale. Let's fuck around with FM. You guys want to see a trick in Serum that I call it a trick because I learned it recently. So basically, you can, if you don't have a controller that has a pitch wheel, you can emulate Tremolo using the LFO. So you just drag it into fine. Let's turn off this for a bit. Wow. Put the rate up, and then put the delay up. And I guess for this to work, the wave has to start there. So there we go. So now there's a bit of, you know, wah. Let's go into the matrix. I'll put the same LFO on the fine of the B oscillator. Let's put, I guess I'll put a, how long have I been streaming now? Because, okay, 40 minutes. So I guess I'll hop into the next thing right after. I have a really cool thing to show, and I think I'll be funny. Let's put a format on there. I guess I don't want it to be that, yeah. I guess let's fuck around with this for a bit. I wonder if the EV flat major thing will work. The latency is really bad actually. But I'll be fine. I'm not gonna process this because I'm running out of time, so fuck it. Limiter, ceiling down, and why not put it on the same reverb bus? I'm gonna try a G minor. Or maybe it's the correct scale, I'm just not feeling it. Let's go into G. The latency is pretty bad. But I'll be fine. That's a track with reverb on the sub, right? It has a sub, it has reverb on it. I think it's not very well done, but I think it proves my point that it is possible. You just gotta know what to do to avoid the phase issues I was showing earlier. I can't believe I started my stream with GeoGebra. That's kind of funny. All right, let's start the. I guess I'll save it. Save. Let's start a new one with what I actually wanted to show you today. Okay. So I have an instrument that is like super old. It was invented 5,000 years ago in ancient Persia, and it survived to this day, and it's like a really good instrument. It's a comb, and so what I'm gonna do is do this, sample it, perhaps get some of these individual plucks and amplify them, and then we can get a pluck sound. Perhaps this as well. That can be used as a riser, and perhaps I can go like like, you know, like a descending thing. So let's try it. And I will show you a really cool way to process that. I'll use the same way that I did with, surely it's cheating if you have reverb on, but you high pass it anyway. True, I guess it could work if you don't high pass it, but then you'll have to listen with headphones. Like people on stuff with mono speakers will find the bass muddy. So like, if you're producing specifically for stereo systems, then I guess it would be fine. But yeah, like, I guess I tried my best. Sorry I couldn't satisfy you, Cimarron. Alright, let's sample this. Okay. Nice. I don't know what I'll do yet, but I think I'll be cool regardless. Okay, let's try some of this. A bit of that. And I guess I want some individual like plucks, which is a bit hard to get actually. Yeah, that's good enough. That'll be cool regardless. Alright, so here's our sample. Okay, I like that. I also tried this yesterday and it worked out well, better than the reverb on the sub at least. Yeah, don't need that. Alright, I guess I want each of these to hit on the beat, so oops. Alright. Good. Okay, so we have our little comb sample. Nice. What I like to do with these is put a hard limiter on it because I like the squashed sound, I guess. Maybe that's a bit too far. It adds a lot of distortion as well when you do that, which sounds neat. OTT, maybe, perhaps? Are we feeling OTT? Oh yeah. Okay, gonna have to EQ that. I'm doing super fast EQ jobs here. I'm not being very very precise because I want to go fast. Saturation. Alright, cool. And then secret sauce. Not that secret because we all know it exists. I'm using a vocoder. I can't really explain what a vocoder is to people who don't know because it's not that it's complicated, it's just that I don't know how it works. But it's pretty neat, and I like using it. OTT then reverb? Yeah, I'll put reverb at the end. Robot. So this is the only time ever that I use this shitty plugin called Citrus. This is the only time, just to get that super dirty saw. Alright. So there's always a bit of fiddling around with OTT. Not OTT, but that already sounds kind of cool. carrier. This is gonna slap. I'm gonna cut these because they're too long. Oops. I'm probably doing things not super efficiently, but I'm having fun. I guess I could chop on every other beat and automate it. Alright, nice. Cool. Let's put a sub. Let's bring our friend the sub. I'm not gonna fuck around with that serum preset because it annoys me. So I'm just gonna make a shitty one using 3x oscillator. Boom. Sub. What did I use as a root note? E. Okay, I guess we're going for E. Let's make it the same length as the sample. Cool. Drums. I actually know which one I want to use. I know exactly. Yeah. Leave citrus alone. You use it. I never use it. I guess I'm afraid of FM synthesis, and I'm deeply scared of it. So I stay away from it, because when you have Serum, why would you use it? You can have FM in Serum, so really, what's the point? Nice. I guess, do I put a lead on it? First I'll work on the drums. Nice. Ride, as always. Oh yeah, I like this crunchy one. And I guess I'll program some hi-hats, because why not? I don't want to use a loop. Oh, that's nice. I guess I'll just do I use the first or the second one? This might sound good by itself. Yeah, it does. It kind of works. Put the synth like a quarter of a beat later. Yeah, I might. I could. No, that's too fast. tweak it later. For now, it just works as a filler for the high end. That kind of works. I need to check something out. It's the name of a preset I made the other day, because I want to use it. It sounds cool. It's like a single Vox chop, but it's made in Serum. It's not like, I think it might be sample based actually. I'm not sure. But I kind of want to use it because I made it. It's here. Let's cut that tail. Also, let's change that to generic. I think it's called just Vox Chop. Vox Lead. Yeah. What do we want for the lead? Do we want something like really hard or atmospheric? Geordie Racer by Caspa. I would check it out on stream, but I think I might get copyright infringement past tense. So I'll check it out afterwards. We're in E. I guess we'll go E minor. All right. That goes together actually. Maybe I'll pitch it down a bit. It's a bit too anime-like right now. That can work. Still with delay issues. I can't go lower because my PC is not good enough. Alright, let's program a lead, I suppose. Let's lock ourselves into a scale. Yeah. Oh, that's nice. Wait, where am I adding this? Do we like that? I'll make it work with some processing, maybe a bit crusher or something. I have this beep here that I want to use. That can do. What else? Yeah, fuck it. Let's put some processing on the lead so it doesn't sound so out of place. I can hear that there's a lot of low, so I'll remove that. Yeah. That could sound cool for an intro, maybe not a drop. Like if if a track started like this, I would expect like a massive drop, like some weird shit afterwards. What about if we add our friend effector and we put it in the format mode to make it talk? Then we can link this to this knob here, yeah, and we can link that to this one. And that's a bit too loud. Yeah, that sounds cool. So I guess you could automate that and have it like speak while it's doing it. But yeah, that's about all I have for that. So reminder that this was made with a comb. So the last thing I kind of want to do is put a comp filter on it. I don't really know how to though, because I'd have to load it in Serum. Maybe we can actually. I'll duplicate it. I'll shorten it by quite a lot, like that. Yeah. Then Serum. Then load this in. It's gonna sound weird. Gotta automate this. Ooh, that's very quiet. Maybe if I, oh, that's kind of neat. It could be like a breakdown, like a, like whatever that noise you would do with your mouth. I don't know how to describe it audibly. Yeah, let's try it. It's a bit glitchy. And then I'll put a comp filter on that and I will have achieved my goal of making a track with a comb. I guess I'll put it on the second snare. Oops. It's very gritty. I like it. Let's see what it sounds like. Ooh. I think that could translate well. That's very gritty. Maybe if I remove the hats so that there's less clashing. It might work. Yeah, I don't know. Let's try to put the comp filter on, see what it will do to it. Alright. I guess I'll go with... The annoying thing with comp filters is that you gotta have them in tune. Like this cutoff will affect the perceived pitch of the sound, unlike a normal filter. Yeah, that's my attempt at making dubstep with a comb. If I gave it a few hours, I might do something better. But for now, I guess I'll call it a day. Alright, let's see what chat is saying. Oh yeah, Jordy Racer, I'll check it out. I'll save it in my notes. Because I don't know if YouTube saves the comment section once the stream is done. Nice. All right. I guess that's all I have to offer for tonight. I have a lot of ideas for other streams. If I do this a weekly thing, I think I have enough to do at least a dozen weeks or so. I have some challenges idea I could pitch. You can give me some fire emojis in the chat if it sounds good. I have making a beat drunk, making a beat using only Minecraft sounds, make a track in a genre that I dislike. I guess I made techno today, so that's done. Make a beat using only toilet sounds, which I think would be interesting, but I would probably end up using the same process as I did for the comb. Or I could maybe perhaps like ask people for samples and like flip them, but like then I guess it's up to you whether you want to send me like really hard to work with samples, like stuff that is nearly impossible to turn into something that sounds good. And otherwise, yeah, I could try to make a remix of a shitty track, maybe I don't know, Lift Yourself by Kanye West, I think is on my mind. I have no idea how would I make that sound good, but it could be done. It can be done. But yeah. So yeah, that's it from me. I guess if you want to tune in next week, I'll also be there. Same channel. You can subscribe to get a notif when I go live. And thank you for joining me. This was very pleasant, actually. I thought like it would be a bit stressful to produce with people watching, but actually it's fine. It's like having friends around. So yeah, thanks everyone. See you next week if you want to tune in, and let me know if 9 p.m. works or if you'd rather have me doing it earlier, because I'm down to do that. All right. See you next time. Ending the stream. Bye bye.